It's the Munster Cast. Welcome to the show. We got a blast from the past. Yeah, it's the Munster Cast. You know what it is. Hit like, hit follow, subscribe to the biz. Leave a comment, share. Let your thoughts fly.
Welcome back, everybody, to the MUNSTERCast, the podcast where we watch and talk about the monsters and monsters adjacent. I'm, of course, your host, Myke Shrews, here with my co-host and friend, Tivis. So, Tivis, please tell everybody out in the Munsterverse how earlier it is for us.
It is currently 5:19 in the morning. We've both been up since 4:30.
Yeah.
It's weird that the very second I look at my phone after waking up, I get a text from you up.
I was just like, I'm ready. Let's just do it. Go. Shit, dude. So how you been, man? Like, we took a week off for Cinco de Mayo. Sorry about that, guys.
We were all
busy, so
all ready to go, and then unexpected family, which happens,
yeah.
Life. So hope you guys don't mind us talking about things a week late.
Right. Yeah. So that's all I got to start us out. I am dripped out in a shirt and hat, both from Temu. I think we need to be a Temu affiliate. Yeah.
Boo.
I did not pay a tariff on this stuff.
That's not what I'm booing.
Oh, Tivis, you gotta open your mind, man.
That site rips people off, man. You've gotten lucky.
I've got very
There's
lucky.
a reason it's people joke about the Temu products.
So I realized real quick tangent, guys, before we dive into this, like when you order shirts, like when you order graphic tees and stuff from them, a lot of them are coming from people here in the States that just have like little shirt companies and stuff. And who's printing them off. And I had one come the other day, actually, which I sent back like immediately because it looked like crap. Like the image was peeling off, the colors were horrible, everything. And it sucked because it was a cool Power Rangers one, and they were the only vendor doing that specific Power Rangers design. I was so annoyed. But I sent that crap back real fast. So
I think they're trying to pivot and be more like Etsy, but they just don't have the quality checks that Etsy does, which allows for, I think they skim less off the top.
They steal designs from Etsy, dude. Like a lot of those people, like from the real like Etsy designers who create this stuff originally.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying is they're trying to become like Etsy to get rid of their negative.
I mean, even Etsy's not really Etsy anymore because there's so many people on there that are just like they're stealing designs from other Etsy people on Etsy, and then they're just mass producing the stuff. So it happened to one of my friend's wife. She was doing an Etsy store and she was putting stuff out constantly, and like she was making everything, making the designs, making all that stuff herself. And then she realized her designs were being stolen, and Etsy wasn't doing nothing about it. Temu wasn't doing nothing about it because
Temu's not going to do anything.
Yeah, Temu's not going to at all. But
Etsy shocks me. They usually have some quality control there.
Yeah, sometimes they just drop the ball, man. Yeah, unfortunately.
I get a lot of custom miniatures from there for some of my games.
Yeah. Well, I guarantee you we're never getting Etsy or Temu as a sponsor now.
Nope. I'm just wondering why I have two different colored mechanical pencils for my D&D.
Diversity.
I must have had one, grabbed one without thinking, and brought it up with it. Oh, well.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's dive on into this dirty business then real quick here.
Ignore our tired talk.
You can find the MUNSTERCast on social media. Mostly Facebook and Instagram is where we are posting stuff at the moment. We do have a bot for Twitter or X, whatever you guys want to call it.
It's Twitter.
You can also swing on over to youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast. That's youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast. And see our pretty ugly faces every Munster Monday that we put out an episode, of course.
Yeah, come see our tired faces today. I'm actually more awake than I thought I'd be.
Yeah. You can also go to themunstercast.com and find all of our content in one place. That is themunstercast.com. And you can also click on the little microphone icon on the right hand side of the screen, guys. Leave us a voice message, which we will play on air. If you would like, just let us know either at the beginning or end of the voice message there. You can also message us through the social media platforms as well too. You can also click on the store tab or just go to themunstercast.com/merch. Get yourself an awesome shirt, not made by Temu. And you can pick up some pretty cool swag that we've been putting out over there for you guys Munster fans and everything else alike. So
where can they send their emails?
Yeah.
Emus?
Emus. You can also email us at themunstercast@outlook.com. There, guys. Let us know any of your Munster stories. You want to send us an audio file, a video file. You want to send us a fan script you did that we can read through and talk about. You want to send us your made films, all that fun stuff. All the same stuff, though. You can do it through the social media as well, through messages and stuff like that, guys. So definitely take advantage of that. And that is themunstercast@outlook.com. All right, Tivis, what we got?
Well, I recently heard that people listen to podcasts at 1.5 speed. So we have a Patreon. I'll make you go down to 0.5 or we sound drunk. No, we have a Patreon, which you can help support us directly. If you have an iPhone, do not go through there. Go through the website. They will charge you more because they steal some money. It's basically just a tip jar, though. You help support, the stream, the RSS feed, the website, all that good stuff. It helps us out. It really does. And we appreciate each and every one who has done that. You also get access to our Discord where you can watch the show. We cannot give you the show. I'm sorry. That is not a thing we are doing at this time. Universal, stay nice with us.
I'm not sorry.
I am. Leave a review on, your podcatcher of choice. If you got Apple, give us a star. It boosts us in ratings. Comment on Spotify. That's a thing to help boost things. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the like. The bell can be pretty useless anymore, but still hit that. You never know. We still might show up in your notifications. I don't know. Google screwed that up recently. Word of mouth is really great for helping spread the show. It's early. I'm unfiltered and angry.
When aren't you?
That's true. I'm an angry man. But yeah, so all that stuff helps get the show out there to people, introduce us to new audiences. I mean, we're nearly done with Munsters today, but still, we got a big catalog for you. I mean, 117 episodes plus some specials on the YouTube. Like when we watched the Frankenstein. Was it Frankenstein?
Yeah, it was Frankenstein.
Yeah, Frankenstein short. That was cool. I had fun with that.
The silent film, the silent Frankenstein film.
Yeah, you should find us more of those.
Yeah, definitely. And not to mention, I mean, we still have the comics to go through and stuff, guys. So we got some episodes. We got some stuff for you. I'd hate to say we got content for you, but it's content. We have stuff for you guys to continue watching. And
I don't understand this hate for content. Yes, the greedy executives have adopted that word, but so what? Take it back. Take back your power.
Okay. Yeah. All right, man. All right. So today, what are we talking about, Tivis?
Genie from Hell, which is a crazy title that we could not even decipher what was going to happen.
I don't even remember what I said that I think this is.
So this is season 3, episode 14, 132nd Munsters episode with both shows shoved together. Aired February 9th, 1991. This was written by Brian Joseph. This is his 6th of 8. You may remember him, Myke, from Flyweight Champion of the World, or Say Ah, or Eeuw de Munster, the season 1 finale, or It's a Sad, Sad World, or Gateman and Son.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
some hit and miss ones there. I know Gateman and Son annoyed us.
Yeah.
Russ Petranto is back to direct for his 11th of 18. I will not be going through his list because he's pretty much the whole of season 3. We have one guest this week. Billy Barty as Genie.
Yes.
Although they gave his real name as Sherwin something, it's in my notes.
Sherman Leibowitz.
It's Sherman, not Sherwin?
Yeah. Yeah, Sherman Leibowitz.
I called him Sherwin in all my notes. Oh, well. I'll change it in my head, hopefully. So he was born on October 25th, 1924, and passed away December 23rd, 2000 at 76, just 3 days before I lost my first grandparent. It's just a weird little connection I decided to throw in for no reason. He started as the baby in the Ricky Rooney short films named after the titular character Mickey McGuire, the first one being Mickey Circus in 1927. So
That's
he
crazy.
was 3, roughly. My alarm is going off.
That is crazy that it's that long of an acting career.
Oh, yeah, he pretty much grew up in the industry.
Yeah.
All sense of the word.
I mean, he didn't grow that much, but
Well, that's
that was a poor joke.
that was off color.
Was it though? Was
Yes.
it? It was funny.
So
He probably would have laughed.
he
And
did
then
he did a ton of one-off shows, movies, and shorts over his early career. Some ones that he had returning appearances on are notable to me. Let's see. He did 13 episodes of the Spike Jones Show in 1954. 8 episodes of Peter Gunn from 58 to 61. 12 episodes of the Red Skeleton Hour, the sketch comedy show from 52 to 70, which if you bought what was it? Is it Marineland? It comes with that great extra of Herbin appearing on that.
Yeah.
17 episodes of the Bugaloos from 70 to 71. Now, I had to look this one up, Mike. It's basically Smurfs before Smurfs.
Okay.
4 musical insect-like British fairies live happily in their enchanted forest while avoiding the schemes of the jealous Benita Bazaar. Tell me that's not the Smurfs, basically.
Yeah, that's Smurfs. I wanted to point out though, like he did play in his first bout, I guess, or whatever, with Universal Monsters. He was in Bride of Frankenstein as a baby in 1935.
Oh, dang it, I missed that one.
Yeah.
All right. In 72, he was a puppeteer for the movie Full Day Roll, which is apparently a famous traveling puppeteer show that they decided to make a film about, and it's set in medieval settings. 29 episodes of Sigmund and the Sea Monster, and I had to look this one up as well. 2 boys try to maintain normal lives while secretly having adventures with families of sea monsters and genies. And the cover art is insane.
Let me see this. Looks pretty trippy.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, it kind of looks like the artwork for what was it, Yellow Submarine and stuff like that.
Yep. Yeah, that's that 70s.
Oh, it's by the Croft. Okay. Yeah. By Marty Croft and Sid Croft. That makes sense because he does he was on the Croft show as well.
Oh,
So
all right.
Which let's see if it was before or after that. Yeah, it was after that.
Then in 76, he did 16 episodes each for Dr. Shrinker and the Croft Super Show.
Yeah. He also did Chico and the Man, which we had another guest that did Chico and the Man the other week, right? I know we brought that up because you were worried about saying Chico for some reason.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did. Dr. Shrinker sounds like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids before that.
Yeah.
3 teens are shrunk to 6 inches in height by a mad scientist. And even the ray gun in the cover of the Blu-ray looks similar to the one from that movie. I'll be honest.
Oh man, what is this movie? I'm sorry.
It's a show.
No. There's something else that's
Oh,
up a little higher, and I looked it up.
well, we'll see if I have it listed.
Okay.
In '78, he moved into voice acting, debuting in the Rankin and Bass Lord of the Rings terrible movie. Uh, I'm sorry, Rankin Bass. You guys did amazing holiday stuff for the most part, mostly the Christmas stuff. Your Easter got a little iffy, but the Lord of the Rings movie, there's a literal song about how happy they are to be enslaved. It's rough.
Yeah. So the one I saw, it was before Lord of the Rings. It was the Happy Hooker Goes to Washington, and it's basically like a court movie. It looks like it's Congress. It's Washington, or no, the world's famous Madame Now magazine magnet is called to Washington to testify before Congress in an indecency trial because she's being held up as a prime example of American moral decay.
Mm-hmm. I had a feeling that one would strike your fancy, but I ignored it.
Interesting.
So after that, we have 13 episodes of the Bay Roller Show. Now, again, this is another very trippy show.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Bay City Rollers.
Sid and Marty Krofft ensemble show, similar to early Krofft Super Show, with Bay City Rollers as the musicians. There is a character. It looks human, but it is still very much a costume, and it is freaking me out, man.
Oh, the one with the eyes. Yeah.
Yeah. What is that? Anyway, yeah, he was in a lot of strange stuff. So after that, he was on 2 episodes of Little House on the Prairie in '79 and came back in '82. I'm only mentioning that because it's coming back on Netflix if it's not back already and you didn't know. 5 episodes of as Inch in Ace Crawford, Private Eye in '83. 9 episodes as Dweedle in the animated Wildfire in 1986. That one is a young princess and her magic horse strive to regain her throne from an evil sorceress. It's a Hanna-Barbera production too, so that's kind of the only reason I bring
What was
it
that
up.
one called?
Wildfire.
Okay.
He was the titular Rumpelstiltskin in the '87 Rumpelstiltskin movie. Gwildor
yeah. I've seen one, so.
Gwildor in the live-action Masters of the Universe movie, which I'm sure you've seen. He was an episode of DuckTales, Mr. Throckmorton in Lobster Man from Mars in '89. I'm shocked you haven't had that movie in your collection.
The what? Lobster Man from Mars?
Yeah.
It might be. If it's a public domain, it might be on my drive.
Yeah. Then he entered his one and only directorial credit doing a skit and also performed at least one skit. IMDb is unclear about if he did more than one, but he definitely performed in some in the Short Ribs '89 in '89. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Short Ribs, it's another variety comedy show, but specifically for short people.
Midgets, little people, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, that term's not okay anymore. I know that.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the list here. Some notable people that were Billy Barty, Patty Maloney, Jimmy Briscoe, and Joe Gieb.
Okay.
So, some great comedy acts over the years. Then he
you also forgot that he did Willow, and I'm very annoyed that you didn't say Willow.
I never cared for Willow.
You are you're a heightist.
Also, you can't watch it anymore because Disney said so. So
no. You can still watch the original movie. They took off the Willow TV show, is what they removed. That they recently just did. They took it off for a friggin' tax write-off.
Yep.
Lame.
Well, I don't think it was a tax write-off. I think their excuse was to save money on the stream.
They took it off for tax write-off.
So then he was Noodles in UHF in '89, which is a movie I love.
Yep, that's
Weird Al Yankovic.
Weird Al, yeah. Thank you.
He was Bait Mouse in the Rescuers Down Under movie in '90. The Rescuers was a series of movies I absolutely loved as a kid.
Oh yeah. Yep. Those were good. It was like the Rescuers and like Five Will American Tail and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason we loved rats and stuff.
I had a gerbil when I was younger, so that's just a rat with a furry tail.
Yeah. They're trying to get kids used to being around rats because they were all grown up in the cities.
He was on an episode of Frasier. I only mention that because apparently the continuation of it is pretty good. Yeah. I've never cared for Frasier. It was honestly forever till that I found out that it was actually a spin-off show to begin with. So
yeah, it's spin-off of
Cheers.
Cheers, yeah. Thank you.
He was on an episode of the new Batman Adventures in '97. Have to mention that because it's the best Batman thing ever made. Ironically enough, he played a funeral eulogist in The Extreme Adventures of Super Dave, which was a movie that came out the year he passed. Then posthumously, is that correct?
Then what?
After he passed?
Oh, I know. Okay.
Is that the correct term, posthumously?
I don't know.
Oh, well, he played a custodian in a short called I.O. Error in 2001. So.
Yeah. Hips McManus. I don't understand which one that is, that character.
I think it's a goon.
Okay. All right. Is that all we got for him?
Yeah.
There is, just so people know, there are plenty others that Tivis didn't bring up, so definitely check.
Oh my God!
IMDb out for sure.
Yeah. If I were to read off everything, that'd be our entire episode. Hick McManus was a con man hired by Rhino and Muggsy to impersonate Scarface.
Okay. All right.
So, yeah.
Cool. All right. Is that it?
That's it. I think it's time.
It's time. It's synopsis time. All right, guys. We are talking about Genie from Hell, which aired February 9th, 1991, as Tivis previously stated. On this episode of The Munsters Today, Marilyn steps into a twisted fairy tale as she channels her inner Cinderella, sparkles, dreams, and all. But when she stumbles upon the mysterious lamp and unleashes a wish-granting genie, things get wild fast. Will Marilyn achieve the fame she's always longed for? Or will Grandpa blow the lid off the whole scheme and expose the genie as nothing more than a magical con artist? Will Herman finally make his long-awaited trip to Holland? Or will Eddie rev up his own destiny with a test drive and maybe a little something more with Rachel? Will the Jewish genie Lebowitz be doomed to rot in a chamber for 10,000 years, hinting at a dark, unspoken storyline that only lives in Mike's chaotic mind? Will Lily receive eternal youth and beauty, finally putting an end to Herman's weekly embalming sessions? As Grandpa's blood brother dives into a deadly game of 57 swords, will Marilyn outshine, outact, and outperform the entire Munster clan? And will chaos ensue? Find out this week on The Munsters Today.
Very good. Very good. I thought you were going to run out of breath there at the end, but very good.
I was starting to worry if I'm way too loud for everyone else upstairs.
Hey, they know what they signed up for when they live with you. Also, that's revenge for waking you up. So
that's only one of them.
Hey, if one suffers, they all suffer. That is the way.
It's called family.
That's called making them turn on each other.
All right, dude. All right, so we start off this episode with Lily having pliers in her hand, digging at Herman's hand, trying to get out a splinter.
Mm-hmm. And Eddie like wanders in, sees what's happening, and just wanders off.
He just walks by, no dialogue, nothing. And yeah. Then she finally gets the whoa,
The
I just
splinter.
forgot the word splinter out of Herman's hand, and then Marilyn walks on in with her newspaper in hand. And what is she boasting about today, Tivis?
Oh, their play that she was a part of did a very, very good job. Especially the 2 stars and the small, insignificant, teensy tiny role played by Marilyn Munster. Why the stars didn't get name dropped, but she did? I think her friend works for the paper.
I think she just didn't read that part.
So Lily's like, that's nice. Now put your learning stuff down and get the cleaning.
Basically.
So Marilyn's like, no, I need to study my lines for the next play. How else am I going to become a giant star? And it's like
Same way most people did in Hollywood at that time.
Yeah, she got name dropped in the paper, and now it's gone to her head already. But she's back into the film type industry, this time not as the camera person or the director, but so she's clearly destined for that kind of lifestyle doing something, because this is like the 3rd or 4th story of her interested in something to do with that.
Yeah.
Lily tells her there'll be time after. Now get the cleaning, dang it. But acting demands dedication. And I'm like, tell that to Dwayne Johnson. That dude's doing like 20 jobs at once. There's no... I mean, he's showing up to stuff late constantly.
Yeah. Wasn't that his whole beef with Vin Diesel? Was timing?
Oh, yeah. Also, Chris Evans is not happy with him after Red 1.
Don't piss Captain America off.
Former Captain America.
Johnny Storm.
Yeah, he's Johnny Storm. Well, formerly Johnny Storm now, too. Rest in peace.
I mean, he still is. Wouldn't he still technically be Captain America, though? Because we call our former president still president.
I don't.
Like they always introduce like
Biden will never be called president again. He's old senile.
They just called him president on The View the other day.
I don't care what they call it. Stop watching The View.
I just see clips, bro.
Lily says they're very proud of her, but this is just a high school paper and a high school play. And Herman adds that it was a small part. Marilyn really doesn't like that. There's no small part, only small actors. And Eddie says his very first line and asks who that is, and Grandpa answers with Doogie Howser. Yeah. Now, it's crazy. Little did they know that this child would go on to do things such as Starship Troopers, Undercover Brother, Harold and Kumar, Stark Raving Mad, and let's not forget How I Met Your Mother. All of these would cement Neil Patrick Harris as one of the best actors, eventually leading to him being the toy maker in Doctor Who. He was also in The Purple People Eater, which is a movie I will continue to remind people exists.
It's a good movie.
Oh, yeah, it is. And yes, I wrote all that down because I had a speech.
I could tell. I had a dream speech. So the fact that Eddie doesn't talk until this point was awkward to me. Like I thought they were just trying to make it so he didn't have a line at all in this entire scene, because at one point it was like she was literally right next to him talking, and he was just like this, like just literally like just doing facial and hand gestures to do the scene, and it was interesting to me. So yeah. Anyways, we get the Doogie Howser line, and then Marilyn or Lily's like, "Hey, so you know what? You could do all that, but before you do, you get the privilege of cleaning the boar's nose or whatever the heck they call it, snout, the ooze from the boar's snout." And then Eddie's like, "Man, you always or why do I never get the good jobs?"
I know. Whatever. Yeah, that's crazy. I guess you would have to clean him. He's constantly shooting out dust.
Yeah, but that means there shouldn't be any goop in there if he's shooting dust out.
Yeah.
It'd be dry in there. So she's cleaning, and she's like, "Man, the only film star I know who started out doing chores was Cinderella."
Which, what? Cinderella isn't.
Cinderella wasn't a star. She wasn't
No.
a film star. It was a film about a character named Cinderella.
Which is based on a
A
grim
story.
tale.
Yes.
But at least Cinderella had a fairy godmother.
Yeah.
But I get to use Eddie's toothbrush to clean the warthog. Which is great. There's a couple monologues in this episode that I'm like, well, who are you talking to? With her, I kind of get, because, when you're younger, you just do that weird stuff.
As somebody who has teenagers, they talk to themselves for some
That's
reason.
what I'm saying. With younger, you do that. But the one later on that I'm going to specifically call out was weird.
Yeah.
So Eddie comes in. He's like, "Oh, you're still here? I thought you'd be in Hollywood by now." She calls him a child, and he reminds her that she was 17 or 16 a year ago selling Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah. She says, "Edward, you're just a child." And I'm like, why is she using this stuck up attitudinal voice? Like, that's not a word I just used. But why is she using like this stuck up voice of like
It kind of feels mocking to me.
it felt like they were just trying too hard because she's like trying to be an actress. So she was like being like, "Oh, how do you know, Edward? Like, you're just a child. You don't know anything."
It just gave me flashbacks because the last person to say Edward was that weird model that he wished into existence.
Yeah.
That was an interesting episode. But yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
Eddie,
think these two actors like hung out ever afterwards.
I don't know. I could see it. I think
Like,
it seemed like they all got along.
Did they do projects together afterwards? I don't remember.
Oh, that I don't know, but I'm sure they, got together and like
Yeah.
went out to lunch and stuff. But yeah,
Right.
that's a kid. I
Have
don't
to
know.
look
I'll
into
have
that.
to cross reference
Look into it.
their
All right.
CVs and so she's like, in a few years, I will be selling autographs at the Academy Awards, and Eddie's like, more like Whoppers at the Burger King. I'm like, dang.
Who sells autographs at the academies?
Someone desperate.
Like, that's not, you do that at conventions, Marilyn. You get yourself a nice cult hit movie or show, and then you go to conventions and you live off that for the rest of your life.
So, conventions are becoming they were for a long time like a TV, like niche TV type thing, and it's growing to be more popular.
I don't think it was
Roundabout with
more
TV.
of a I don't think it was more of a just a TV thing. I think it was a very like specific, like, these are cult hit movies that had like
Okay.
horror's a little different, like, because like horror cult stuff, like horror fans are a little different than like rom-com fans.
Yeah.
But
So,
like, yeah, they're starting to, I understand what you mean. They're growing more in the fact that different type of talent is willing to go to them now.
yeah, bigger and bigger talent. But my issue is,
They also get paid to go to those things too.
why have musicians not started doing this? That is the one sector of entertainment that does not do conventions. And the lead singer of Slipknot was at an Astronomicon I was at, and the dude had a line that wrapped the building when went out the door.
Yeah.
Granted, he's done a lot of stuff outside of the music, but still.
I'm sure there are some musicians that do. Conventions I do know have been a nice growing thing for voice actors as of late.
Oh yeah,
Because
absolutely.
usually people didn't even, a lot of people didn't really know who was voicing the characters back in the day of their stuff.
Like our plan for next GalaxyCon in Columbus is we're meeting the guy who does Mario, the old guy, not Chris Pratt.
Okay. Yeah. It's interesting to see the evolution of it and how some of the bigger, which sometimes worries me though, because some of the bigger names then take away from these little guys that this is their livelihood,
like when they stuck Jodie Whittaker next to the guy from Jaws. He had absolutely no one, and I felt bad. Oh yeah, we were in line to meet her for an hour and a half. That entire time I didn't see a single person getting his line, but he talked to everyone who walked by.
See, it's a good thing and a bad thing, because it's a good thing because then it's easier for me to go into the lines of these smaller people that I like, not taking anything away from them. But also it's a bad thing because then it's like, well, they're not getting as much traffic or flow through for that show as they would, when there's only like one main headliner. It's a little easier to go to like the main headliner guy, and then all the smaller people, quote unquote smaller people, however you look at it. But then it's like, what are we doing? Like, come on.
Yeah, well, they made the mistake the year after trying to put two big people next to each other. They put Vincent D'Onofrio next to Peter Cullen.
Yeah.
Chaos. Pure chaos.
Yeah. When a couple years ago, when I went to it's called Spooky Empire, they do it in Orlando. They had Freddy on one side and Jason on the other side of the corners, and it just wrapped around completely out the doors. Like, I was like, you're never getting it. But then, like, where they had one of them, they had like another guy like kitty corner from him. No one was going to his table, so I was like, I'm gonna go to these guys' tables. Like, it's easier. I know the actors, stuff like that. So it was nice for me. Like I said, again, nice for me, sucks for them.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, sorry about that tangent, guys.
Yeah. So she moves on to polish stuff around the room, leaving his toothbrush on the mantle.
Which Eddie then grabs his toothbrush off of the mantle and starts brushing his teeth. Which, why?
Yeah, he's like, oh, that tastes. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. And then she grabs a lamp, or it's not I don't know why they call them lamps.
Hold up. Before Eddie leaves, he says something that threw me.
What's that?
Maryland's to go slop the warthogs out back next. So they have warthogs as pets now? Or is this food for Spot?
Maybe both.
And also, this makes me miss seeing that back patio set that we saw like twice.
Yeah. Or when they did their Airbnb.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the two I was thinking of when Gil came in and the Airbnb.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, could we do something with that set again?
Yeah.
Please?
Anyways. So Marilyn is like, she has this silver lamp in her hand, and she starts cleaning it. She starts going on.
Yeah, she's going to be the next Cher in no time. Dating guys half her age and getting tattoos on her butt.
Yeah. She rubs it out, and a genie actually pops out. I was actually surprised.
Put it like that.
I put it how I put it. A genie comes out of this lamp after she rubs it.
It's a cool effect.
And I wrote in my notes, a genie, a real genie. The name of the show actually made sense. A genie.
I thought the exact same thing when she brought out the stereotypical, a lamp from Aladdin.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh boy. Yep. this is an actual title that makes sense.
Yeah. As second I see this guy, I'm like, oh no, this is a leprechaun because they trapped him in the thing. Because he's wearing the green and the same hat. I'm like, he looks like the leprechaun from the Leprechaun movie.
Less creepy.
I don't know about that. Warwick Davis isn't that creepy as the leprechaun.
They put a lot of stuff on his face to make him look creepy.
Yeah, this guy doesn't have nothing on his face and he looks a little creepy. It's an old creepy.
Yeah. So
anyways,
this dude is like extremely sarcastic as well when he comes out, and it's great. I love this guy.
It's like, who the heck just let me out?
Yeah. And Marilyn's like, who are you and why are you in our house? And I gotta say, I love the little smoke effect they use whenever he appears and disappears.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, I'm a genie. She's like, that ain't true. And he's like, I can grant your deepest desires. And she's like, hold up. Even the one about Mel Gibson? He's like, sorry, the waiting list for that one is just, whew. And I'm like, I wonder how long that list is now. I
guarantee you it's still pretty dang long after I waited in line to get a picture with him. Trust me. I guarantee you his list is still long.
With women, though?
Yeah. Oh, there were so many girls waiting by themselves just to go and meet him. Just in line, bro, to get the autograph and stuff. It was crazy.
I don't know. He looks like he ate 3 of himself.
What have you? What?
Well, that's the last photo I've seen of him. So,
dude,
that was around the time he was selling his collection. Well, maybe he got back in shape then. Good for him. But last I saw, he was not.
I've never seen Mel Gibson like out of shape.
Oh, you missed a very long couple years there.
I don't.
It was around the time he got divorced and was selling his collection. He was in very rough shape.
Let's see here.
And this is coming from a fat man.
I see right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was 66 right there.
Well, he's older now.
Oh, no, wait. He is showing off his ripped physique at 66. Okay. I mean, he's still in better shape than most people I freaking know, even in this fat stage. Quote unquote fat stage.
I take offense.
Good. If you take offense, then maybe you'll no.
No. But
anyways,
like, I can get you Jackie Gleason immediately, and I'm like, Gleason passed in 87. So
maybe he can raise the dead now.
That was one of the rules genies can't do according to Aladdin.
Maybe he has the hookup with the boy of your dreams company and can bring back people with them.
So
boy
then he's
of
like,
your dreams.
He made Ed McMahon famous and had to take 2 weeks to recover. And so Marilyn rushes off to get the family, and he just relaxes on the back of the couch, like, yeah, all right, I'm all right with this place.
Yeah.
Cut to the family meeting the genie. Herman is skeptical, but the genie grabs him and pulls him to be face to face, telling him he has some nerve criticizing other people's looks with a flat head.
Yeah.
And
Finally, someone says it to one of the dang monsters. Stop criticizing people's looks when you guys look like this. And then if you guys get your feelings hurt because someone criticizes your looks, you're going to be a little baby about it.
To be fair, though, this version of the family has not done it that often. Compared to the original, which was every damn episode.
I guess. I think they do criticize Herman's looks more in this show than anybody else.
Well, Grandpa does for sure.
Oh yeah, Grandpa definitely makes some comments all the time about it.
Even in the beginning, that we skipped over it, but Lily's like, "How did you get that splinter?" And Grandpa's like scratching his head.
Yeah.
So yeah, Lily demands some references from this guy to prove he's a genie, reputable genie. And he's like, "Well, I did Dan Quayle," and the family gasps in
Just
horror.
stop. Don't say it like that. He said, I made Dan Quayle vice president. He didn't say I did Dan Quayle to this. Jeez Louise.
You don't know what happened. And I don't understand this reaction other than, he was vice president to Bush Sr. Cause hold up, I'm gonna sneeze. It went away. That feeling sucks. This was before he was involved with the LA riots in 92. And I mean, he had a list of some controversial stuff from being a draft dodger. But he also developed, he spearheaded the development of the McDonnell Douglas DCX, which is the prototype of the reusable launch system that NASA eventually adapted.
Mhm.
And granted, when this thing was tested in 96, it did catch fire and was considered a total failure. But the idea sparked some stuff from the NASA techs that eventually developed the cool stuff that we use today. Well, don't use today because NASA's a shadow of itself. But it saved time and resources on the tech teams with this reusable stuff. The idea came from him. So he did good and bad.
As most
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
So I'm confused by the reaction, but also I was barely functional in the early 90s, so I remember nothing of the guy.
Yeah, I don't really. There's only a few vice presidents people even remember,
Cheney.
to be honest. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, the genie says he can grant one wish to anyone, even if they didn't rub the lamp, because he's only got one left in him.
Yeah, it's his final wish. And the final wish, you can choose who he wants to give his wish to.
And Marilyn is not happy that she's not guaranteed this wish, since she's the one who freed him. But he's like,
Right?
hey.
She rubbed him out and she doesn't even get the wish.
Oh, I can't say he did Dan Quayle, but you can say that about a 17-year-old. He's like, I'm flattered to be released by the next Annette Funicello. There's a lot of name drops in this episode.
Oh,
For
yeah.
people who don't know, Annette was an American actress and singer who started her career literally at 12 and became one of the most popular people to leave the Mickey Mouse Club. She was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 92 and passed from complications of disease in 2013. But anyway, he pulls out his contract of genies. So apparently they're unionized?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure how this whole genie thing works in this reality.
No, because later on, I get annoyed as it seems like the rules change.
Yeah. Also, he seemed annoyed that he got woken from his slumber in the first place.
Yeah.
Also, where the hell did this lamp come from?
Apparently it was just sitting on the mantelpiece over there behind Grandpa's chair.
But if he did all this other stuff already recently in history, making VP and stuff like that.
Yeah, he mentions that he's been in the lamp for thousands of years, but he knows all these recent people.
Yeah.
It doesn't, this the writer, what is your name? Brian?
Writer who's probably dead already.
Brian, what happened with this episode?
Yeah. There's a lot of inconsistencies here and issues I have later on too, for sure.
Mm-hmm. So Grandpa wants to interrogate him.
Yeah.
And the genie's
Grandpa to Genie, 3rd degree.
He's like, I will happily be given the 3rd degree by someone as of your stature or something along those lines. So they start heading to the lab.
Yeah, he says, I can see nobody else I would rather I would want to be interrogated by.
Yeah, and
showing some respect, to Grandpa.
Yeah, he's buttering him up. As the family all huddle to start reading over the contract, he turns around and says, I really am sorry for Dan Quayle, before heading downstairs.
The writers must have had an issue with him.
Yeah, obviously. Downstairs in the lab, Grandpa finds out that his name is
Sherman Leibowitz.
Leibowitz,
So he's
which
Jewish.
reminds me of Leonard from Big Bang Theory.
This explains why he doesn't want to give his wish away so fast.
Oh. Why? Why? So Grandpa decides to test his being a real genie by giving him a pop quiz.
Yeah. Who's the first genie?
I didn't write it down.
Og the Promiser. Which I tried to look this up, and the only thing I could come up with was something from a song, and that was it. And that was an AI generated answer. I couldn't even find like a legitimate source for it. So
I was gonna say, did you find out when the song was written?
it was in the 70s.
Oh, okay.
Allegedly. Yeah.
But we do find out how genies can fit inside their lamps.
So allegedly it says, this is what AI generated response says. I couldn't find anything else on Og the Promiser. It says Og the Promiser could be a few things, but without more context, the most likely references to the song The Promise by Bruce Springsteen, which is also the name of this album. The Promises
Bruce Springsteen, of course it is.
also includes other songs like Save My Love, blah blah blah, whatever. Yeah, that's it. That's all they got. Og the Promiser, and they got that. Yeah.
So, do you remember how they're able to fit inside their lamps?
It was Slim Fast. The Slim Fast
Ultra
diet,
Slim Fast diet.
which was a big thing in the 90s, so
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. Anyway, Sherman begins listing a bunch of nerd facts of I Dream of Genie, which I would expect from Myke.
Sherman, not Herman.
Sherman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna write all this down, but he just basically gave the whole history. And this is when did this, I wondered if there was like a connection of this actor to the I Dream of Genie show. Apparently there wasn't. So that would have been really funny though.
Big fan, apparently.
Yeah.
But what was his downfall? He couldn't remember.
The belly button showing.
Yes.
Of Genie.
Belly button was shown briefly on camera, so he must be a fraud.
I swear her belly button was showing all the time on camera.
Yeah, I thought so too, but it's been a long time since I saw that show. Put it down on the list to go on after this.
I guess they covered up with her. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Her pants come up just right, probably covering the belly button, it looks like.
That was scandalous back then.
Yeah.
That was before the bikini.
Yeah.
So, Grandpa knows these people operate, or knows how these people operate. So don't think you can get away with conning my family into doing your bidding for the chance at a wish. Sherman is hurt by this, but that is 100% the plan as he vanishes. We get this cool look of Grandpa looking around and Leonard just shrugging.
Hold on a sec. I'm sorry. I'm gonna read it.
Okay.
So it says the belly button controversy for I Dream of Genie. It stemmed from the
controversy.
It stemmed from the network restrictions on showing any naval exposure during the 60s.
Because you know that's a giant turn on.
I'll let you know right now. This version of Marilyn would not have been able to be in the 60s.
No. So now,
it's interesting that they're like, yeah, you can't show your belly button, but you can walk around in a bra the entire time.
Yeah.
And I feel Charlie's Angels did belly button stuff. Like, because they were on beaches and stuff like that in the original.
Belly button stuff. All right.
That's a category online.
Oh. What is this episode?
Yeah. Charlie's Angels, there's like belly buttons showing all over the place.
Was it on NBC though?
It's Angels Air Station. I don't know. I can't tell. It doesn't tell me. All right, go on. Continue. I'll look it up.
Give me 1 second. I got it. It was on ABC, so they had different
Oh,
network standards.
so America's broadcasting company had less restrictions.
Than
Gotcha.
a Nebraskan broadcast. I don't know what NBC stands for. I'll be honest.
National Broadcasting. Yeah.
So we cut to Sherman. I have Sherwin written
Nebraska.
so many times. What?
You said Nebraska. It just is hilarious to me.
What?
Nebraska.
That was delayed.
It just took a second for me to like really think about it.
You could tell it's early, people.
Jeez
So,
Louise.
Sherman is laying on the table telling Eddie he can have a Ferrari. And Eddie says, oh, he's wished for that as much as he has some perverted sex dream of Madonna that I'm not bothering to write down.
I didn't write it down either. I was like, what are we doing in this episode, guys?
Yeah. All Eddie has to do is run to 7-Eleven to get peanut M&Ms when the bell rings.
Is it me or does season 3 get a lot more sexual?
Seems that way, yeah. At least it's less on Marilyn.
Because, well, even season 3, isn't this the same season where we had Jack the Surfer Angel?
Yeah.
You had the whole episode about the boyfriend and stuff like that too. The man of your boy your dreams.
The one and only Marilyn dating episode.
There's a lot of ethereal beings trying to bang underage kids in this show.
Except this guy, which I appreciate.
I don't know. Let's get to the end.
I'm fairly certain no.
Let's get to the end.
So Sherman moves on to Lily, complimenting her beauty and how most women beg him for eternal youth, but she doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Lily's like, oh, thank you for the compliments, but I do know a friend who might be interested in that wish. Well, all your friend has to do is make my favorite meal, and it's theirs. Now, Lily has been an entire episode dedicated to how she hates lying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of believing that even though she's saying friend, she might actually mean a friend.
I was thinking that too a little bit, to be honest. It's just the way that she delivers it that it's like, yeah, okay, I get what you're meaning.
Next up is Herman. His greatest wish to see the windmills of Netherlands.
Netherlands? You mean Holland? Yeah, Holland. Yeah, that's it.
Well, he says Belgium. Holland is in the Netherlands. Yeah.
Yeah. Belgium. He says Belgium at first, and then the guy corrects him.
That's what you want.
Yeah. And then this is where he's like, well, I'd do it for anyone who would drive me downtown in a hearse and let me beat them at pool.
Yeah.
That seems like the easiest thing for Herman. How is that even something hard to do if we're trying to torture these people?
He's like, oh, I'll go get the hearse going. He's like, I'll get you first class trip with wings.
Yeah.
Which I have those, by the way, somewhere for you get them for your first time flying. I haven't seen them in years, but they're somewhere in my stuff.
Some airlines used to give them out, the pins and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
That's what my first flight out to California. That's what I was on. Or I got them. I haven't been on a plane since, now that I'm thinking about it. I kind of don't want to right now.
Yeah.
Well, at least until, they stop falling apart and crashing.
My wife flies all the time, so I don't even. Yeah.
Did we even fix them falling apart from last year before we got onto the new problems with them?
They just stopped talking about it because they went on to something else, dude. That like they just stopped. They just stopped talking about it. They don't care anymore.
That's a big deal, though.
Yeah, they just
Anyway,
stopped. This is welcome to American news. They just stopped talking about stuff when it no longer appeases them or scares people. Anyways,
it should scare people. These things are falling out of the sky in pieces. So yeah, after Herman rushes out of the house, Sherman decides to have a monologue about how easy this is going, and the only one
yeah,
left is the suspicious vampire named Grandpa.
he
I'm
has a
like,
name. He has a name. Dang it!
why are you monologue? This is like evil villain stuff, and this guy doesn't come across as evil.
Yeah, he comes across as like
Mildly annoying.
you think about Everybody Loves Raymond. His dad.
Oh, the dad, totally.
That's what I got the vibes of.
Or
Frank.
or
Frank
the
is
dad
his name,
from
right?
yeah,
Frank's his, yeah.
rest in peace. Or the
Yeah.
dad from King of Queens.
Yeah, I could definitely see him doing it for sure because he literally did that stuff. He's like, I won't tell her this if you do this, this, and this for me. Yeah.
He's manipulative and also excitable.
Yeah. Which I finished that show finally again.
But
Man,
not
I
Raymond.
forgot how hard like the last like 2 episodes were like emotional, dude. Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Sitcoms, man, they got their ups and they will take you right back down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, at this
They
point,
basically I'm gonna say this though real quick because we're on the
Yeah.
sitcom thing. In King of Queens, there's like towards the end of the show, the last like 2 or 3 episodes.
Mhm.
So there's a show called Kevin Can F Himself on Netflix right now, guys. It's like a mash between sitcom slash drama. Almost like they go between the worlds of a sitcom world to a dramatic world. The last like 2 episodes, there was like a storyline in King of Queens where it was like she was realizing all of the dumb shit that he did. And it was like, wait a minute, no, like it kind of gave me vibes of maybe that's where they got the idea for the Kevin Can F Himself show, is like based on just those last couple episodes, because it was like she was feeling bad because she did something, but then she's like, wait. He's done like a billion different things wrong. And I've just let it slide. Like, what the hell? Yeah.
Is that the one where they replace the wife?
Which one?
The Kevin James show?
No. King of Queens.
Yeah, no, the other show.
The other show was Kevin Can Wait is the other show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Kevin Can F Himself is the like drama sitcom one where it's like it takes
Dramedy.
place in this sitcom world when the husband's on screen, but then when there's just the wife by herself, it's like a drama. I have yet to watch it, but like I've seen trailers for it and it looks freaking fantastic to watch.
All right.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like I think it's a dig on like the Kevin James type shows where it's like, you know, because the main character's name is Kevin, stuff like that. But it's like everything you see with him is sitcom. The second she walks out the door into the other one, it's like drama world. Like, oh my goodness. Like, yeah.
That's an interesting premise.
Yeah. I still need to watch it. It looks really cool. So it's on my list.
Shame I got rid of Netflix again. I'll have it back for when Wednesday shows up.
Yeah.
So yeah, we come back from commercial break. Grandpa is heading to his favorite chair with a paper as Sherman poofs onto the couch eating a chicken wing. Why a chicken wing? I don't know. Maybe he was just actually getting catering.
Yeah, I was going to say he probably was eating catering and they're like, hey, we need you on set real quick. It's like, all right.
Dude, have you heard? Okay, little tangent on my own now. You know all these expensive shows that Disney's doing for like Marvel and Star Wars and stuff? Like how they're putting all this money in the budget? apparently they're cheap as hell for the production crew. Like their catering is awful.
Yeah.
I'm like, how are you gonna treat your crews like that? You got all this money, give them food.
This is from a couple years ago, so if I'm wrong at this current time,
Mhm.
and people are working in the film industry, you can correct me, but a few years back, PAs, like your production assistants, which is like one of the lowest things, were getting paid more on doing like commercials and stuff like that
Mhm.
than they were on the Disney shows or like a Marvel movie.
Mhm.
Like as the same PA thing, like as the same production assistant, you were getting paid less a day doing a Marvel project than you were just going out and doing like an insurance commercial or some shit.
That's insane. You got
Yeah.
all this money. Treat your people. Stop being a piece of shit company
Yeah.
to the workers.
Again, this was a few years ago, so this might be changed by now. They might have
Well,
upped
they
it
have a
up,
long
but
history of doing that to multiple
yeah.
different divisions they work with. It's insane what they do.
But again, I'm just saying,
Disney, you
in
have
case they
the
call me
money.
up and be like, "Hey, you want to come work?"
Oh,
Although
yeah.
I probably wouldn't work on a Marvel project because I don't want any of the spoiler stuff myself. I
Yeah,
go work on a Star Wars thing all day long. I
well,
don't
it's
care
not like you
anymore.
watch them anyway.
Yeah, I don't watch the Star Wars stuff anymore.
No,
So
I'm at the Marvel stuff.
I watch the Marvel stuff. I'm caught up with everything except for Daredevil.
Agatha?
I don't remember.
All right.
I'd have to because we had it on. They have it on at the store and stuff too that I go to.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, Grandpa tells him to just admit he's a sham already so they can move on with life. And Sherman can't believe how cruel this man could be to a fellow vampire. And Grandpa's like, "You? A vampire? Ha! Convince me." I did it for a few hundred years, got bored, became a CPA, dabbled in real estate, then became a genie. Do you think?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
Grandpa also said he's like, "Oh, so now you're a vampire too." I think your idea of sucking up is different than mine.
So here's a question I wrote down specifically for you. Do you think he actually did all this stuff or that he's just that smooth of a talker? Because
I think he's just that smooth of a talker. I don't think he did any of the stuff. I think it's just all because he's been around for a long time, so I'm sure he had like a vampire friend or something like that.
he
You
could
know?
have, yeah, because he says all the right things to
Mhm.
convince Grandpa and actually make them buddy buddy.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the carotid artery and stuff like that. I didn't write it all down, but yeah, that like he
But-
hits all the correct buttons
yeah.
with them.
And then he's like, "Well, what can I possibly do for a man of your stature?" Like,
Yeah.
still sucking up to him. And Grandpa's like, "Well, I'm kind of a trickster kind of person myself, you know. I've just never mastered the 57 swords through the box trick.
That
I'm a very simple person."
yeah, it's not that simple. I'm a simple man.
Yeah.
No, you're not. You liar.
Yeah.
That is a very small wish for Grandpa, though. Like we've seen him have very grand plans.
Yeah. Which is why, well, like I was thinking when Grandpa was telling him he wanted to do this, I was like, is Grandpa setting him up? Like, is Grandpa trying to like trick him? You know, something like that. But no. Um, so then we go to the next scene where Marilyn is feeding him grapes as he lays on the couch.
She's getting real impatient for her audition with David Lynch.
Yeah. He's like, "Oh, she's like, "Oh, you promised me an audition with David Lynch." She's like, "Hey, I'm doing lunch with Lynch tomorrow." They even named the sandwich after him. It's called the egg salad arranged in Twin Peaks. I think Moshe would like that one, but
He passed away recently, didn't he?
David Lynch?
Yeah.
I think so. I remember, dude, so many people have been passing away lately. So yeah, he passed away in January, on January 16th.
All right.
Yeah.
Because I know they added him to this this Cthulhu game that I play.
Okay.
I actually have it right over there.
Mhm.
I can't grab it; it's in a stack. But
Yeah.
they added him as a character in the special promos box you get for pre-ordering it early.
Yeah.
I really hope I get it still because the board game industry is currently in disrepair with companies shutting down left and right due to recent events. But yeah, I wonder if he's still going to be in it after the passing or not because they announced it last fall.
I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't if they already paid for the licensing and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting that they add a lot of the Alfred Hitchcock's an older one they
Yeah.
put in there.
Yeah.
Tesla for some reason, but it's just neat
Like
that
Nikola Tesla?
yeah,
Nice. Okay. Cool.
yeah. So it'll be cool to see what kind of references they hide in it because this is a company that is known for hiding like
Mhm.
when they choose to do things on real people or knock off characters from things. They put like there's an Indiana Jones character whose
Mhm.
quote is I have a bad feeling about this, which is clearly Star Wars. So I'm like, okay, this is Harrison Ford.
That's awesome. Okay.
A little tangent, but
Yeah.
yeah. He's like, if we go too much too soon, it's all going to be ruined. It's all about timing, Marilyn.
Yeah. She gets pissed off.
She's like, oh, I'll tell you what's going to be ruined if this doesn't come through.
Threatens to smash him.
Yeah, and he senses danger. He's like, no. You are getting my last wish, and you can take it to the bank.
Yeah.
Cut to Sherman eating a table full of dessert as Eddie comes in, also irritated. This was a hard scene to write about. Sherman
I
tells,
wrote it all.
"Did you want to take over the ticket?"
Eddie comes in. He's like, "Where's my Porsche?" It's Porsche, not Porsche, but Porsche. I told everyone about my new red Porsche, and Rachel
Also,
Brown. Oh, go on.
also, he promised him a Ferrari.
Earlier, yeah.
The car has
Yeah.
changed.
Said I told everyone about the car, and Rachel Brown told me I could take her for a test ride, if you know what I mean. Eddie, no. Nobody knows what you mean. You're an underage kid. You're 15.
Why
Stop
would
it.
you brag about something you don't have yet?
Right?
You moron.
Moron. Nico. That's a teenager for you. Eddie, no. Just stop.
Yes. Also stop.
He says, "Don't worry, Eddie. You'll have your hands on that Porsche and Rachel before you know it." He had to add in the Rachel part.
He also bought some cool glasses to wear.
That's good because I have these 3 very large friends that get a kick out of dealing with people who don't keep their promises. Oh, and this is a line that he also said to Marilyn too. We gotta remember it. He says, "Trust me, you're the one who's getting my last wish, and you can put that in the bank." And he also said this to Marilyn when she like threatened him with a fist.
Oh yeah, dude at this point knows he's short on time with this con. Myke put an image on the screen, audio listeners, and I just have to ask, why did you make Lily looking at Sherman like she's seductive?
It was just a better image I could get from it.
It's very complimentary of Herman's reaction over here. What is going on? So it's a great ensemble of every character from this episode. So check out our YouTube at TheMunsterCast.
YouTube.com/@TheMunsterCast.
Yes. Yeah. So now he's Sherman's heading outside with a skateboard when Herman stops him, asking what is going on with my wife. Lily is plucking gray hairs out of her head, threatening to shove an apple in your mouth and bake you at 45 degrees. Women, go figure.
He's
That's
like,
all he says.
so when do I get my plane tickets to Holland? What?
There's something going on over there, you know.
Yeah, Herman, haven't you heard of the epidemic of the Dutch butt disease?
Which I looked this up, Mike.
Oh God.
Today there are actually 2 definitions on Urban Dictionary.
Okay.
The first one is a slang term for unattractive women. The second one is just upset stomach. So just say upset stomach. Yeah. Anyway, while convincing Herman that he can't go, he mentions the 1968 influenza outbreak that killed between 1 to 4 million people by its derogatory term, and then tells Herman, put it in the bank.
Ooh, bless you.
I did that right into the mic. I am so sorry. That's going to be fun. I hope you can cut that out.
Nope.
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't. It came on with a force. But yeah, I the whole him mentioning the flu outbreak with this fake disease kind of irked me. I will be honest, because like the flu, it's no joke, people. Take care of yourselves. The flu, influenza.
Oh yeah, because he says the Hong Kong flu.
Yeah, the derogatory term. Yeah,
hey, they said it in the show. I'm just repeating what we watched.
They say a lot of things in shows that say anymore. But yeah,
I mean, it's on Wikipedia as that. Why is it called that? Yeah.
But it's just like the Spanish flu that didn't actually start in Spain. It's just, or the Chinese virus that was given to COVID. It's just a racial thing that idiots put on things because they want to be racist. But anyway, yeah, the flu actually does kill tons of people every year. So just take care of yourself. Like, I know it doesn't seem like a big deal because modern medicine has made it kind of mute, but take care of yourselves. It's still an illness. Yeah, that's my rant. Okay. So now we cut to the family minus Grandpa having a meeting in the living room, all mad because they were told to put it in the bank together.
Well, he also tells Herman, trust me, you're the one who's getting my wish, and you can put that in the bank again.
Yep. So we see him say it to everyone but Lily.
And Herman also threatened to shove him back into the lamp with his bare hands.
Oh, I forgot about that part. I would be more scared of Herman's threat than any of the others, honestly. Because he is a gentle man, but he is violent when he needs to be.
Yeah. So this is oh yeah, so they're all together now.
Yeah.
And this is where he goes, what's
minus
with the glasses? Yeah. They go, what's with the glasses? Oh, I'm getting a Porsche. I'm getting Genie's last wish. Wait a minute, that's what he said to me too. And me. Yeah,
he told me I could put it in the bank.
Yeah.
So that's when Sherman comes in asking, what's for dinner? Herman's like, you, unless you grant our wishes.
Cannibals. So he's like, here are your wishes. You're right. Here are your wishes.
Do you have
all of them?
What they've got? Because I wrote it all down.
Yeah, I did. You could do it if you want. It's up to you, man.
All right. Well, start with Herman because he goes first. You got tulip bulbs. Plant those in a few short weeks. He'll think he's in Amsterdam. That makes me think it's something for him to eat.
Yeah.
You know, Amsterdam is famous for. Lily gets a fitness video. Exercise with that every day, and you'll feel as young as Richard Simmons.
Yeah.
Richard Simmons?
Yeah, I was gonna get you Jane Fonda, but I wasn't sure what your politics were.
For those who don't know Jane Fonda, I didn't write any of this down. This is from my memory.
Mhm.
She is actually a singer and actress who became an activist for the feminist movement, women's rights here in America. And I believe she's still doing it today.
Yeah, she's still kicking and stuff. She's
Yeah.
87.
Yeah, so she's a very, very, very vocal person for women's rights, and good on her.
She should be. She was Barbarella, bro.
Yeah. Eddie. What does Eddie get?
Eddie gets a toy car. This is a toy car. What type of a girl am I gonna get with this? Barbie? And what does he say? He says, "Yeah, go on.
Change your name to Ken and pick up a copy of Little Women. You'll do just fine."
Oh boy,
Marilyn. Honestly, she might have gotten a very good gift because
mm-hmm.
it's the biography of Vanna White. If you don't know Vanna White, she is the woman on Wheel of Fortune that turns the letters around. She works 3 months a year and makes a boatload of money.
Is she still on Wheel of Fortune?
A couple years ago, they said they were going to search for her replacement, but she has not retired. She's refusing. And she made it a mission to wear a different dress for every taping. So if you've watched Wheel of Fortune, you may notice she has never worn the same thing twice.
Yeah, because they did a couple
episodes
a day.
Oh, right? Yeah, no, they only film 3 months a year.
Yeah.
And then she's become so rich from just turning letters. So, Marilyn, don't be upset by this. I would love this job. I'll wear the damn dress. I don't care.
Yeah.
Don't think of me in a dress, Mike. What's wrong with you?
Too late. AI is going to have that up on screen.
Oh, no. What have I done? Yeah, so that's it.
Yeah. So he's like, so you didn't get your wishes. And here's the reason as Grandpa walks in.
Yeah. And Grandpa doesn't even know what he walked into. He's just walking out of the kitchen with some food or something. I forget. What's going on?
And he's like, here he is. Here's the man who gets the last wish. And what is Grandpa's wish? It's the 57 sword
box.
I want to say challenge, but it's the box. And Grandpa's like, hey, Herman, how about you get in here? He's like, what if I get stabbed in the hiney? Well, you'll suffer a little brain damage. Come on.
But I don't want to. Stop sulking. I'm not sulking. Prove it. Get in the box. During all of this, Sherman changes into like some sultan looking clothes.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be like because of the magician thing. He changed into it when the box.
Very Arabian.
A very what?
Arabian look.
Oh.
Like once again, Aladdin comes into question. This is before Aladdin came out, I believe, in theaters. But I'm getting so many Aladdin type references.
Yeah, the story was out of Aladdin way before.
The 50 Thieves or whatever that Disney ripped off.
Let's see here. Aladdin Miller's folktale and the best origin. Let's see here.
Because I had the original book that they based their movie on.
I mean, it's the Arabian Nights, but the original title was 1001 Nights.
Oh,
a collection of Middle Eastern folk tales. The Tale of Aladdin was part of the original Arabic manuscripts that was instead added by French scholar Antoine Galland in the early 18th century, based on a story he heard from Syrian storyteller. So Aladdin is very, very old.
Yeah. Fun fact, it's the very first thing I've ever seen in a movie theater.
The original movie?
Mhm. Yeah,
Nice.
my grandpa bought me a large popcorn and a large drink just for me, and then my mom took me to something else, and she was so upset because I'm like, well, he got me my own.
I saw Terminator 2 in theaters. I don't know what my first movie was though.
Am I? No one else can remember either. Am I the only one who remembers? I thought
But
that was.
I was like 5 when Terminator 2 came out, 5 or 6.
When did Aladdin come out?
92, 93?
No, not the 2019, 92, which means I was 1 or 2 years old.
Yeah.
So it had to be coming back to theaters because there's no way my grandpa would have bought me a whole thing of popcorn just for a 1-year-old.
Yeah.
I would have choked on it.
I know my youngest, the first movie he saw in theaters was Home. He was 2 years old.
Did you buy him a giant thing of popcorn?
Probably. I don't really do popcorn in theaters, so when we get popcorn, it's usually for the family.
Do you not do concessions?
If I go by myself, I might get a drink, but half the time I just take a water bottle in.
You need to support these theaters, damn it, Mike.
I don't do it. I just don't.
You drink the pop and then you use the empty pop thing to go
drank
to the bathroom so you don't miss
pop
anything.
in 2 years. So if I do get a drink there, it's usually like Powerade or something.
Just glossing over what I just said.
I heard what you said. I don't have to. Look, if you don't react to everything I say, I don't have to react to everything you say. Mr. P Bucket.
They are like buckets now. Oh, dang it.
Is that why you get the metal ones now?
It's still downstairs. It's got a wash still.
Anyways. Oh, so yeah, Grandpa gets Herman in. Nice. Grandpa gets Herman in there and stabs him once in the booty. And Herman's like, yep, I'm done. I'm out.
He does it twice before Herman jumps out.
Yeah. And Grandpa's like, this isn't working. It's a sham. I knew you were a fake.
I'm not giving away my last wish to spend 10,000 years in a lamp with no cable.
Yeah.
I don't understand how genies work in this show. Do wishes like recharge once they're depleted? I thought he was free.
Yeah, they never said he was free. They just said it was his last wish.
So he's out of juice and he's just confined for the rest of eternity?
For 10,000 years until he can come back out again.
I'm so confused. Brian, cohesive storytelling.
So this is when the family says, you took advantage of us in our good nature. I have issues with this whole scene here. The family all right, let's just get through this and then I'll talk about it.
Yeah, he's not leaving without his lamp. Grandpa's not giving it up. So the family has an aside, a literal aside. If you listen to Mission to Zix, you may have heard about it. We just witnessed it.
Yeah.
Where they all huddle in the same room a few feet away and pretend he can't hear.
Yeah. And then the Maryland's basically like, look, you know,
Herman asks for ideas and Grandpa gives his first. Do you remember?
I don't remember what Grandpa's was.
Medieval torture by grabbing a limb and pulling. I'm like, that is very Grandpa.
Yeah.
So yeah, then Marilyn jumps in.
I could do it with acting. Speakers. So Marilyn walks over there all high and mighty, and she's like, "Hey," like, and she goes over there. She has the lamp in her hands, and she's like talking him up. Do you have any of this written down?
Yeah, she's like, "Hey, I'm thinking about running away with you. And it honestly seems like she's flirting with him, but the actor playing the genie is so genuinely excited to just talk about himself as he name drops Merv Griffin, the creator of Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, as well as being an actor, singer, and creator of his own media corporation. He like lunges for the lamp as she's talking to him, and she's like, no. I will give it to you, but I'm going to travel with you and become your apprentice or something and learn how to be a genie. And he's like, wait, I won't be alone anymore?
Yeah.
I'll go make room. And
he just didn't want to be alone. He was very lonely.
I feel like they could have made this so much creepier than what it ended up being. And I think it's all thanks to the actor playing Sherman.
Yeah.
Because he's got his lines are delivered with such actual enthusiasm and happy, more than perverted. So that's why I kind of disagreed with you about him being perverted earlier.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, I wasn't saying that he was perverted. I was just saying that the way the storylines were trying to go with some of the stuff. But yeah, with this part here, I understand what you mean now.
Yeah.
So he's like out loud. Yeah.
I'll go make room for your stuff now. And she's, well, I wish you would. And he's like, well, your wish is my command. And then he puffs into the lamp. He's like, you tricked me, you
charlatan.
Yeah. The family starts complimenting her on her acting ability. And she's like, yeah, shut up, you suck-ups.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, you really are. You really are good. And Eddie's like, you'll definitely make the school play. Herman's like, school play? She'll be on, I don't remember what he said after that.
She'll be the next name drop that I didn't write down because there's so many name drops, but it's someone we've heard in the show before. So probably, I don't know.
Zsa Zsa Gabor.
Yeah.
Then we get to the cut scene, and then we go back to Grandpa trying to get Herman back in the box, and he's like, "No way am I getting in that box." Grandpa's like, "I'll pay for your trip to Holland."
Yeah. You want to see the windmills? I'll get in the box. And
I'll get in the box.
What does he do, Mike?
He locks the box this time.
Padlocks.
He's like, shoves one sword in and pokes Herman, and you hear Herman scream out loud, and he's like, "Don't worry, Herman. I only have 56 more swords to go."
That's where we get this image of Grandpa laughing here at the very end as it freeze frames on him.
Yeah.
And he laughs maniacally too. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Afterthoughts.
All right. I need to go. I need because this might cause conversation. The family at the end. The family at the end of this goes on about how he took advantage of them and that he's in the wrong and all this and that. They are literally only sucking up for their own self interests.
Yes, I take issue with the term goodwill because they were not doing it out of goodwill. They were doing it for something in return.
Reasons. They were doing it for their own benefit. They weren't doing it just to do it. It wasn't like he was faking being sick or something like that, and they were just helping him out. No, they were doing it because they wanted his wish. And then when you find out that his wish, once he uses it at the end, locks him in a prison for 10,000 years by himself, and you're still going to try and screw him over, like,
and
you're kind of messed up, bro. Like, the whole family is messed up here. I find it very counter Munster intuitive.
Not to mention that what he uses the wish on is just company.
Yeah.
To not be alone.
Yeah.
They should just give the lamp to the mummy. They could be together.
Yeah. So like that was like my big issue with this story here is like they're trying to make the genie the bad guy, which he was being rough with them because he wanted to be with people. He didn't want to be lonely. And sometimes when you don't want to be lonely, you overreact or react. What was the proper way of saying it? You react in a way to get the attention that you want to seek. Kids do it all the time. They try and get attention. A lot of times it's in a negative way because that's one of the only ways they feel that they can get the attention is negatively, which is stupid. Kids need to learn to grow up. But like adults do the same thing though. Negative attention is still attention to them, and it's not a good thing. So I'm not condoning anything that he did here, but I am like the Munsters here in this episode, especially realizing he's going to be locked away for 10,000 years by himself, hearing that he's lonely and all these things. You're kind of taking away from what the Munsters family is. Like I feel even a season ago, the Munsters family would have tried to find a way to get him to stay out so he wasn't by himself.
Yeah.
Even like the original Munsters would have figured it out too, is to, here, this is how you'll stay around. Let's not grant your wish. But I do think that the season 2 of the Munsters Today guys definitely would have been able to figure it out for him.
Yeah, they definitely seem to have taken a much more selfish tone as a family in this episode, which I guess, could be commentary on how greed corrupts.
Right.
But
when you're showing it as like greed corrupts and then the greed corruption wins, that's not really good commentary. Like, I mean, it happens in the real world. It's
realistic.
Yeah.
Not good commentary.
Yeah, it happens in the real world all the time. So,
yeah. Yeah. That's.
But outside of that aspect of this episode, I enjoyed the how do you want to say it? The story arc of it a little bit. Getting a genie. We actually had a genie. It adds to the Munster lore a little bit that there are other powerful beings within this world. Why are you trying to rest your hands on Herman's head?
I am.
I see what you're doing. And it definitely does show how easily corrupted this wholesome family is. Not just Grandpa, because Grandpa is actually the one who takes the longest to be corrupted by this, which is interesting because Grandpa's usually like the first one to be like, ooh, I want this, Even
when he is, it's something so small compared to everyone else.
Yeah, especially after, because we had, what episode was it where Grandpa like had everything? It was it with his machine, the computer, or the devil? Yeah.
Same one.
Was okay, yeah, because the computer told him to do it, to sell his Herman's soul or whatever.
No, sell his soul.
Was it his soul or Herman's soul?
His soul.
Okay, but the devil wanted Herman because it was so many souls in one body. Remember, we had that conversation.
Yeah, that was the end, though.
Yeah. Okay.
That explains why he needed an angel to help him get that.
Oh yeah, trying to sell us. Yeah, I can see that. But yeah, so that's my take on this episode. I guess it just seemed like they made the Munster family a little more shittier than they usually come off as. Especially seeing Lily being corrupted by it as easily as she was.
Oh yeah.
So, but it was cool to see that Grandpa at least took a friendship to corrupt Grandpa, which is interesting because we know Grandpa is also lonely as well. All he has is Leonard as a friend outside of, the family members themselves.
Yeah, Stuart's obviously dead.
Yeah. Yeah. But what are your thoughts, dude? What you got?
The story, I was entertained by it, but the continuity issues, Brian.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like this one was written on the fly without much time put into it. But Billy as the genie stole this episode for me, and I loved it for him alone. Like, his performance was amazing. I do agree. This one, it kind of reminds me of, you remember in the original season of the Munsters, there was that one episode where every member of the family's personality was just flipped in the complete opposite direction. They were miserable, spiteful people for no reason. I kind of feel like that's what happened here.
Yeah.
You get a sense for them normally, but I feel you're right. They got too corrupted too quick. Eddie, Herman specifically is the one that I'm like, what happened here?
Yeah.
You know,
and Eddie's the easiest one.
Totally. We've seen him corrupt himself.
Unfortunately, Eddie has come a very long way from his wholesome, lovable self in season 1, where like with the weightlifting and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I mean, he was still cheating, but he realized he was cheating.
Yeah, and then he stopped doing it, and we had this somber moment in that season, in that episode, and he's come a long way from that. And I'm wondering if it's showing if Eddie's like descent into madness and like his perviness and stuff like that is like their take on how puberty affects the male body growing. Is like you kind of like gets disoriented. You're not necessarily thinking clearly because you have all these other chemicals running through your brain now that are setting up all these different emotions and ranges of sexuality and all these other things too. So
yeah, potentially.
and if that's the case, it's actually pretty smart for them to do it in that way. Marilyn, you don't really see her doing the whole guy thing. She's more looking out for herself. Like, yeah, every so often she's like into a boy or whatever, but she's more looking out for herself, which is kind of how women are, for the most part. I mean,
watch yourself.
Like, no, I'm just saying, not like they look out for, not look out for themselves, but like they're more in their own world, in their heads about what their career is going to be like long term and stuff like that. And you're seeing it with Marilyn here. As they say, she's 17 years old. She's already looking out to be like, well, I've dabbled in movie making in season 1. I did a little bit in season 2. You know what? I think this is what I want to do. I want to be in this industry, but I'm still trying to find my way as to what part of the industry I'm trying to get into. Do I want to be behind the scenes? Do I want to be an actor? Do I want to be an actor to learn more about the behind the scenes stuff so that I'm a better director or whatever? Kind of like Ben Affleck did. Like, he did acting, which makes him, I feel, a better director because he knows how to handle talent. And it goes for lots of other actors turned directors too. But that's just like the most.
The guy who played was it Diggle on Arrow? Didn't he become a director?
I think he did.
Amy Jo Johnson.
A lot of those guys from like the Arrow shows and stuff like that, a lot of them like got to direct episodes and stuff like that. I know for sure for the show. But
Amy Johnson did that Supergirl episode that was real good.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So, and it's probably just a way of showing that talent knows how to deal with talent. You know how to talk to talent, rather than like someone who's never been talent and they've always just directed and they're just go in there and be like, hey, I need you to do this. But does it make sense for my character? Like, how actors are thinking. Anyway, that's besides the point. It's like, seeing the development of the two teenagers in this kind of resembles like the shift and change within the genders of going into like their chemical changes in their bodies and stuff like that too within the real world. Type thing. Herman's just turning into like the base sitcom dad thing, unfortunately.
Yeah. This image you have of him is great. I didn't realize the image you have of Marilyn over there is from that final scene where she's talking to Sherman.
Yeah, that's with her holding the lamp and everything.
And like I said, I think Billy's performance really saved this episode for me because they could have so easily have gone the perverted, creepy route with him.
Yeah,
at multiple times.
Yeah, it could have been very like the Christmas one. That's Munster's Scary Little Christmas with the two little elves and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It could have gotten really, really weird, really fast. But luckily, his performance and his, I don't know if he brought what all he brought to the character or not in this one, but I definitely do know the way he projected the character out definitely helps, because he could have given different eyes, different facial features, which alluded to different things, especially with Marilyn or Lily and stuff like that. So,
and I'm kind of shocked that he went on to be a voice actor too, because he is a very animated actor. Like when he's delivering his lines, he's like not just looking at the person he's talking to, he's looking all over the place, like, which is something that actual people do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, can you blame him though? Peter Dinklage has taken all the little people roles, so
no one else is allowed to have them.
Clearly,
unless they're CGI'd monsters.
Ugh.
Yeah,
he screwed a lot of people over with those comments. Anyways,
I enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
Again, this is another one, probably high middle. I haven't had one that reached the top in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping, with the, what do we have left? This is 14, so we have 8 left. I'm hoping one of those at least gets up there.
I think we got 10 left.
10 left? I thought it was only 22.
I think it's 24.
Oh, even better. Yeah, you're right. It is 24 episodes.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's a higher chance of one of them at least going up there. But as long as the rest of this season maintains around this level of entertainment for me, I will be happy. The Munsters Today has been so enjoyable. It's starting to lose steam a little bit here, and I could see why they didn't get a 4th season.
Right.
But overall, I am still enjoying myself. I am still having fun with this version of the characters, and I'm still going to say it. As of right now, I still enjoy this show more than the original.
Okay.
So we'll see how I feel at the end.
Right. I did like that. It's just another episode this season, though, too, where it's a little bit more Marilyn. Like, it's very centric of like the whole family for this whole episode, but Marilyn is like, she starts it out, she finishes it out.
Yeah, she does.
So, yeah. All right. So what are we talking about next week, Tivis?
Next week we are talking about Lots of Luck.
Okay.
Which,
Lots of luck.
If this is the Leprechaun episode,
that'd be funny.
It would be. I don't know. That is a very similar title to the Doctor Who episode that just aired last weekend, and I didn't enjoy that one a whole lot. So it's kind of making me not too excited. To be honest, I don't. Oh, this is. We got the 4-leaf clover with the Wish episode.
Mm-hmm. We had the Lucky Mummy.
Lottery.
Already.
I'm going to go lottery. This is a lottery episode.
What if it's a lucky lot of land?
That would mean going somewhere else to film, and I don't think we're
Yeah, I don't think so. That's one thing I did like about the original series for sure, is we got a lot more locations and outside of the house stuff.
And especially at the end of there, they just didn't care. They were going everywhere.
They were like, "Yeah, we're going to use your money anyways.
We're going to a sorority."
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm not sure what I would think about this one. Lots of luck. Unless Lotsa is somebody's name, because it is
that too.
Because it is together. For people who don't know the title, it's LOTSA space luck. So Lotsa is one word. So it could be a name. I'm not sure. Let us know what you guys think in the comments and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right, Tivis. Any other things that we got? Any other final words? Anything else?
Nothing at the moment. We are talking about maybe taking a break come July, which is still a couple months away. So, because summer, family, there's a lot of I got anniversaries, I got a lot of birthdays. Mike's got vacations. His anniversary's coming up.
And kids,
summer vacation. So, we may take all of July off. We may not. It depends. We still talking about the supplemental stuff. If we get some of that filmed, we might have something for you to tide you over for the month. Who knows? It's still up in the air. I'm telling you stuff with nothing concrete. Why am I bringing it up?
Who knows? All right. Sounds good, man. That it?
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, guys. Well, with that all said, thank you very much. And we will catch y'all next time as we take another stroll down 1313 Mockingbird Lane.
The lesson I want you to learn is it doesn't matter what you look like. You can be tall or short, or fat or thin, or ugly, or handsome, like your father. Or you can be black or yellow or white. It doesn't matter. What does matter is the size of your heart and the strength of your character.
Myke and Tivis.